Episode 2 of Beauty in Black begins with Roy heading up the private road where that pedestrian his wife hit is still lying on the ground. Unlike Mallory, he picks her up and bundles her in the trunk. Back home, Roy and Mallory come to blows. They fight over the infidelity, and Roy believes Mallory intentionally planted the body in the road for him to find. The woman is dead, and the pair try to figure out how to handle this situation. They need to work out who she is, but Roy wants to get Jules involved. However, Mallory believes that he'll bury them for this and hold it over them. Unfortunately, the cops pull them over while driving out to stash the car. After handing over his license, the officer has Roy do a breathalyzer. He fails it, naturally. Mallory rings Jules, but it's too late, as Roy is taken to the station. However, there's more drama when cops want to tow the car. Jules manages to get there and clear everything up, but Mallory breaks the news that Roy hit that woman on the way home. Meanwhile, Rain is conscious, but she's in a rough way. She swallows pills to numb the pain, but this looks like a proper botch job. She's cold, clammy, and just wants to sleep. Kimmy hangs back with her, as we see how the pair have tight bonds since being kids. Kimmy unwittingly sealed her deal when she agreed to visit someone called Angel, the same man we saw in episode 1 at the club. Body shows up with Daga, the girl who did the work on Rain, and Kimmy immediately questions her. She gets a slap for her troubles, and for good reason. This woman is proper dodgy, and according to Body's call with Jules, where she warns that Kimmy needs to be reined in, plenty of pros have died from her work. Kimmy decides to bring Rain into the hospital, despite the consequences, and calls a taxi. After dropping her off, Kimmy is picked up by Jules, who reprimands her for showing her face at the hospital. Jules forbids her from coming back again, and tasks her with cleaning the room up and getting back to the club. Meanwhile, Mallory and Roy get back to work again, acting like normal. They put on a facade of a happy couple in public, until they discover that the trunk was actually empty at the lot. Oh! The police are swarming all over the scrapyard looking for evidence. As we soon learn, Jules kept her and Rain out of a 30-year prison sentence for something that occurred in the past. We don't see what that is, but Kimmy is spiraling. Back at the club, Horace is back and he's asked for Kimmy personally, so off she goes. In the booth, Kimmy manages to get $800 from this guy, and he apparently trusts her judgment. He wants to keep her around, as he knows she has a good heart, and decides to organize a meet with this male stripper. And his name? Angel. Angel reluctantly agrees to it, but sex is off the table and he's only okay with a dance. In exchange, Kimmy wants Horace to check on Rain at the hospital for her. However, at the motel, Horace starts coughing and asks Kimmy to take him home. He's barely in the room 5 minutes with Angel before he goes. It turns out that he actually lives at a really big, fancy mansion. Kimmy drops him off back home and gets the meds from the office. However, whilst there she notices a picture of Roy, Mallory, and Horace together. Beauty in Black starts to tighten the screw here as we see Mallory and Roy scrambling following the dead body and extra drama involving who the deceased is and what's happened to the body now. Meanwhile, Kimmy's good soul gets her into trouble, and it also gets her a one-way ticket into Horace's good graces too. As it soon becomes clear, he's connected to this whole story and could be Kimmy's ticket out of this life. Quite how Kimmy is going to get into the Beauty in Black hair deal is still up in the air, but there's plenty of drama within this show to make for an absorbing watch.